talk that truth, baby. Mouthy's in the room, Miss Mouthy's fire. Mr. Mouthy's crew, unfiltered love, boundaries and bloom. R&B vibes, let the healing resume. Every medicine is
Hey,
Big business in your ear, big.
You think that's what they
saying?
saying?
I love that. Big business. We started on big business.
Big business. Let's go,
Okay.
baby.
Hey, y'all. Hey, Mr. Mouthy.
Hey, what's going on, Miss Mouthy?
Nothing missing you.
Oh, okay.
That's it. So we have a wonderful episode for you guys today.
Mhm.
Thank you for all who chimed in the last episode about silence.
Yes,
So we
thank
wasn't
you.
we wasn't the only one, babes, who wasn't saying shit. Okay.
Appreciate that support, y'all.
Amen. So this episode is in particular, I thought about used ourselves as we always do as guinea pigs,
Mhm.
is in a moment where me and Grayson was going through a low. What is them called? Valleys, peaks, lows.
Yeah.
Yeah. We was in the
Flowing with the river,
trenches.
yeah.
We was in the trenches. And one
Don't
of the
say it
things
like that.
Okay, I'm dramatic, y'all. But
Relationship woes, okay? I think everybody goes
yeah.
those.
So we was there. And one of the things that I was thinking about was in mental health, he kept talking about like, I ain't got no space to say what I want to say. You're not listening to me. And I'm like, I'm hearing you. I am absolutely hearing you. But I think it was in particular our last blowout where I felt like I had to take a step back and really just make space for him. And what I envisioned in this conversation was around Black men, especially Black trans men, mental health. And with this month being mental health awareness for men, I always like to spark the conversation around it and what it looks like. So
Mhm.
I wanted to take ownership that I didn't always know how to support or show up or not make my shit your shit when you were
Mhm.
having your own silent battles.
Yeah.
And so we brought on our favorite people today to kind of talk about it because they vets in the game with this marriage shit.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
absolutely. Yeah, babe, how do you feel about it? I think we're
Um,
going to entitle this episode Support or Sabotage.
okay, I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
I'll just say, first of all, thank you for creating this space and recognizing that the conversation that we were having were a bit one sided. I mean,
Yeah.
it's one thing to know yourself and have been uh, in this place of transition for longer than I have, right? So
Yeah.
I'm in what I would say kind of like the baby stages, although I've been transitioning for since 2018, so 7 years now. Uh, Not being able to fully live authentically as myself has
Yeah.
been such a challenge. So it was a lot of things that I would be jealous of because I wasn't at a place where you were, and I had to sit back and just watch um, how that would be for me, but also just not knowing the words
Yeah.
to express myself in that way. So again, thank you for allowing this space to be what it is, and yeah, let's get into it.
Absolutely. And I would say right before, uh, we do need to do that. I think in all things shaped of, especially the Black community, I'm noticing this extra effort of people trying to divide, you know what I mean? And break up households and break up relationships and all the
Hmm.
things. But one thing I know for the trans community is that, like, as a T for T relationship, I feel like we have to work extra hard to not let those things bring us so apart because it's so easy for me to be like, you don't know my experience as a trans woman, and for you
Yeah.
to be like, you don't know what it's like to be no trans man. um,
And those things are true, but it's about learning how to navigate that together and the willingness to do that.
yeah. And so my favorite, one of my favorite couples is graced us today. I mean,
Yes.
the last time we got to chat with them was in February, so I'm
Mm-hmm.
excited that they
Mm-hmm.
coming out for Pride Month to be able to sprinkle all their greatness to our community.
Yes.
The Winstons is amazing. Uh, Let me bring them on out.
Let's
so they
get some
can-
wisdom from the Winstons.
Yeah.
Let's go, baby.
Hey y'all.
What's up? What's up?
Yay!
I didn't know if my head was gonna fit in the screen after
Yeah,
all.
you know what? We would have figured out a way to be able to bring you off your
Okay.
cool stuff into the
Head
screen.
and all.
Yes. How are y'all feeling? We miss y'all.
Absolutely.
We
miss
miss y'all
y'all
too.
Hey.
Don't be trying to say what I'm saying.
That's that alignment. Yes. So we
But really, truly, we are so grateful to be here with you all. You are definitely one of our favorite couples as well.
For sure.
It just is such a special thing to be invited into your world and have a moment with you all for sure.
absolutely. Look, the alignment is over here. But tell us what y'all been up to since the last time we kind of like were in each other's spaces.
Woo.
Yeah, a lot has happened from February to June. You know, life be
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you like?
Well, I mean, a lot of stuff has happened. So
Yeah.
What stuff has happened?
I have continued to grow in ministry. We've
Amen.
continued to write for Blackout Magazine. And just really trying to navigate life. I mean, it's, we'll talk about it probably a bit, but not too long after we did the interview with you all, right on our birthday, me and my birthday twin.
Hey,
Woo!
The day after my mom passed away.
And I'm so sorry. Our
Yes.
condolences.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So, not from the male perspective, but certainly just in general from a mental health perspective, there has been a lot of navigating and maneuvering. But really just, I mean, honestly, even with that, living a good life, enjoying the things that we have been blessed with. So, and Winston has lots of amazing things going on because if y'all didn't know, I'm married to a superstar.
Yes,
That's
you
right.
are.
Yep.
Yes, you
Yep.
are.
I want to talk about it. Don't be shy, bro.
No. Let's see. Since February, well, I just started a podcast for book therapy.
Mhm.
Thank you. You know, it's I highlight Black and brown queer authors from the dyslexic perspective and give like my take on the book, and also like if the audio book is better for dyslexics,
Yeah.
or, you know what I'm saying, or that kind of thing. So that's what, I continue to write for Blackout. I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Absolutely. And that takes me into, if you don't mind, babe, my first question that
Mhm.
kind of pivoted into the mental health. When grief shows up, how do y'all necessarily support each other? I know with this type of loss of your matriarch, it had to be hit you really, really hard. How were y'all showing up for each other?
Well, I will say my spouse has been wonderful. So we jokingly will sort of say that, he's the kind of guy that normally he just kind of will be like, if you start crying over something, he'll say, "Oh, you need some water," pat you from the back,
Yeah.
because that's not really, his seed.
Yeah.
And so there's some folks that are really close to us. Usually he calling in backup.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Love that.
But additionally, though, we came up with a code phrase, right? Because sort of everybody asking me, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" The answer is always, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
fine." But something that is an insider for us, we watching the Brat and her wife, and they say beautiful a million times a minute, like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness gracious. And so in this Louisiana accent, beautiful. And so
You could do a drinking game behind that. You could do a drinking game.
you
behind
could
that.
do a drinking game.
Yeah.
But it became our thing. And so it was, he would say, "Hey, beautiful." And then if I said, "Hey," then that meant I'm not okay in that moment and get me
Mhm.
away. But if
Yeah,
I said happy to fuck, then we knew we were okay.
I love
Wow,
that.
that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
But he also, in the midst of this, experienced a loss.
Yeah.
A good friend um,
Sorry.
of
30
30
years, yeah,
years.
30,
Wow,
50.
Yeah.
condolences to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, um, so then it was, how do I show up for him?
Mhm.
And I will say, the idea of grieving at the same time, um, that I had a moment where I realized I wasn't showing up for him. And I apologized to him and I said, honey, like, you have been so wonderful that I think I almost took it for granted. And please know whatever you need in this space, I'm
Mhm.
here for you.
Which I appreciate it, you know.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
for me, like I'm not very what's the
Verbal.
word? Yeah, I'm not very verbal
Okay.
when those type of things happen, right? So I'm learning how to be more verbal in those instances. And so for me it was like just for her to recognize that I wasn't okay was let me know she was paying attention. And even
Mhm.
with the loss of her mother, like she would still be like I'd be trying to check on her and she'd be like, how you doing? Cause I lost my parents long time ago, right?
Mhm.
So she wanted to check in to make sure I wasn't having any residual feelings connected with my own parental loss. And so, we just kind of check on your partner. And like she said, I got backup people
Yeah.
Right. That's
Yeah.
right.
because it's important for you to know the limitations of your toolbox, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Absolutely. One
Yeah.
of the things that I tried to pull out was reaching out and using a tool that I thought would help you. And it kind of backfired a little bit,
Mhm.
only because I like surprises, right? But I think I'm starting to learn that my partner don't care for surprises in the same regard. He likes to
yeah.
know all the details of the plan so he can know exactly what he needs to bring, look like, all the things. And so me, I'm just a wild card, throw me in there. But one of the things that they hit on was actually there was so many moments that because Grayson is a strong man and did the military, I oftentimes take for granted that you need more support than you lead to
Yeah.
be, or because you're so easy going and just let me take the lead with everything. It's like, oh, whatever, babe. And I'm just like, I get so wrapped in myself that I forget that, like, oh shit, maybe he do need me to like take a moment and check in with him, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, absolutely. So
Yeah, and I don't want to say I don't like surprises. I just felt like the surprise that was coming wasn't befitting to what I was going through. So I'll just be honest. So I stopped smoking weed. I made a decision to stop smoking weed, and I had been smoking weed for a very long time. And so um I didn't understand the effects that we was playing on my life. I thought like, oh, okay, I can stop this anytime. I'm not addicted to this. I'm functioning. I can go to work. I can do all these things. So how am I addicted? I'm not a crackhead. I'm taking care of my family, financial things. So when I made that decision, I started having suicidal thoughts. And I ended up, and then after an argument, I decided to reach out to the suicide hotline. And in the midst of that, my wife trying to help me, she was trying to set up a surprise going out with one of my brothers. And that's not what I needed. So it wasn't the fact that it was a surprise. It was the fact that all I needed her was to see me in that moment. And I felt like she was trying to throw me to someone else to deal with what I was going through. And
Yeah.
although I know that wasn't her intention, that's what it felt like in that
yeah.
moment.
Mhm.
So
Because I love handling you, one thing for sure. Uh, but just hearing him say that, like when he texted me, I was like, I was like, okay, this is one of these moments we need air. So let me go and do something and get him a moment. Um, but when he texted me, I like instantly turned around, but it like put in perspective that no amount of anger will ever make me
yeah.
not I'm trying not to get emotional episode, but to ever put the petty bullshit to the side to really show up for like where you're at. Like the argument that I had never felt like it was that deep, so I knew it was something deeper that was pulling.
Right. And that's what I needed. I
Yeah.
needed you to turn around and give a fuck.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
going out part that comes and goes, but it was the fact that I wanted to know, like, is my wife going to be here with me through the midst of our arguments or our downfalls or all
Yeah.
of those things? And that was a pivotal moment that shifted. And I was like, I don't want to go out. Why would I
Yeah.
want to go hang out with one of my homeboys when I could just be with my wife? And that's what I wanted the whole time. So that was a beautiful moment. And that the next day we had an outing, we went out
Yeah.
together, and it was a wonderful moment. So
Yeah.
I
I didn't
appreciate
notice
you.
how much as a married couple you go up and down. You like can have a blowout and then it'd be something so magical that y'all can be back together.
Yeah.
I'm like, ooh, there's a rabbit.
But y'all, what do y'all feel like is the difference between support and sabotage with someone you love that is struggling in their mental health?
I think honesty, you know, Winston is very upfront that he's not the verbal, right? He's not going to necessarily verbalize what's going on. But our youngest daughter, who still lives at home, she and I will laugh because as soon as he's like starting to shut down, it's like the air in the room changes, right?
Yeah.
Like we've never actually had an argument, although low key, I think we almost the other morning. Remember?
Do
I don't even remember what it was.
Then it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it wasn't an
Yeah.
argument. Okay. But we've never had an argument, and not that is like something that other couples can't go through. It's just
Right.
something that we
do have disagreements.
Yes, we
people
do
be like,
definitely-
oh,
yeah,
they don't ever.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
no,
we-
we disagree.
yeah, because I don't always like him. He can only
Yeah,
We definitely
But-
don't mind.
whatever. I am
that's the
perfect.
truth. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
I'm perfection in a bottle. I don't know what he's talking about.
Okay.
But
You do.
but because he does not always verbalize and he is the laid back person, right? So sort of people always think that he is always upbeat. He's always in a good mood. Nothing ever impacts him. But because I know him and I pay attention, yeah, that's not true.
Yeah.
And so last year, he was really going through a time, and it wasn't even like something major had sort of happened. He was just going through a time.
Right.
And because again, we do know that we cannot always be everything for our partner.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, I said to him a couple of times, like, honey, I think maybe you should either talk to the doctor about, you know, some medication or look into therapy.
Yeah.
And or was that 2 years ago? Good
It
Lord.
was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. And so he ended up getting a therapist, loved it. Things went well. It was almost like a tune-up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need that.
Because things have really been going well since then. But, you know, honesty, right? Of how can I support you? I need to be honest. I know you're going through some things, but this is impacting us.
Absolutely.
And I can only look at it from my perspective, you know. And so if there's something else that you need, let's look into it.
Yeah.
And then of course you also have to be understanding of how you even approach that, right? Because I could have been like, you crazy and you getting on my nerves and you need to, you know, and if I had been very aggressive in that, well, then that's not
That would have been the sabotage.
yeah, that's the sabotage,
absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
So, you know, so that honesty and that what you see, and sharing how it impacts you, not that you're trying to make it about yourself, but I know for us, oftentimes how we respond to things is based on how I think it's going to make my partner feel. Like I might not defend myself, but stop playing. I'll beat you down in the street.
Yeah. Okay. That part.
And so, you know, so to say like, hey, what's happening is impacting me. And then that gives you a moment for pause.
Absolutely.
So what do you think, my love? I know I did a lot of talking.
She do all the talking.
All the talking, same way here. Look.
Love.
All the talking. But then she be lightweight jelly. When people
Ah,
be like, "Where's Winston?"
Yeah.
And she be like, that nigga don't even talk.
Exactly. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You missing his silence? Like, what is it? Okay.
But she did just say, when my mood changed, the air leave the room. So that's
Yeah.
why. I'm just
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So like on the like it's very important that you know your partner, right? So you know how to show up for them, and if you don't know how to show up for them, that there's a space that's been created that you can ask how to show up for them, right?
Yeah.
Because what works for me won't work for her, and what works for her won't work for me. And so I think the sabotaging of that comes in when people try to give what they think their partner needs versus, because there's nothing wrong with a conversation,
Yeah.
right? I tell my daughter all the time, since you are as nonverbal as I am,
Mhm.
And she is.
people don't know how to show up for you, so you need to tell them how to if I'm upset, and I come a long way, if I'm upset, I'll say I am upset,
Yeah.
right? And she'll be like, well, what do you need? And it's okay for you to say, right now I don't know what I need, I just need a moment.
Absolutely.
And then I'm gonna reround on you and tell you, you know what I'm saying, my thoughts and feelings and what I might need in this moment, right? So a couple years ago, I was having chronic pain. Like I was in pain all the time. And I told people, like, I often say that about having mental health challenges. Like when you are in so we had a system, right? So if I was having a very bad day, like I was in immense pain, and I just, some days I don't even want to be around myself,
Mm-hmm.
there would be a code word. So this the code word. That means you don't need to take it personal.
Mm.
But right now in this moment, what I need is time to figure out what I need,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right? And so I think some couples interject themselves and feel like, like, well, I'm just trying to help you, and now I feel like, you know what I'm saying, you don't want my help, and it just causes things to be worse when all you had to do was like, give me the space, bro.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of times I feel like I used to do that, babe, around I would equate space to like risk of losing each other, right?
Yeah.
And then you learn over time that like he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
And at the same time, around your point was when it comes to being nonverbal, I had to learn when moments of just like, oh, I need to be a little bit softer because how I grew up being, I don't know, rough, sarcastic, whatever,
Well, I
snippy.
want to say that I just think that your upbringing, nobody sugarcoated shit.
Yeah.
So you just
Yeah.
articulate yourself in that way, as opposed to me, everything was just secretive. You can't do this. What
Yeah.
goes on in this house stays in this house, and I learned how to hold things in
Yeah.
in fear of hurting someone with my true self.
And I be thinking I'm flirting with him, and he be highly offended. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
what's wrong with you? I was just trying to tell you you cute. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh, that's funny. But but to that point, right? Like the way we grew up definitely impacts on how we look at and navigate mental health.
Absolutely.
I grew up, my father, you only had one emotion, and that was whatever emotion he told you was having.
Yeah.
So anything else, you had to keep that to yourself.
Mhm,
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? So I grew up, and then, my mother had drug addiction, and so I pretty much was parenting an adult while I was a child.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Same
Yeah.
here.
So then you didn't have time. I didn't have time to navigate what I was feeling.
Feeling.
You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? So I
The
grew up.
survival was important.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So when she was like, "Well, how do you feel?" I was like, "What?"
Both got feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say when we started out, because I would have, because just by nature, right? So I am a prayer warrior, and so because of that, just by nature, right, I am empathic on what people are feeling.
Mhm.
Nobody be trying to show up in my space, okay? But but like I said, like the room changes, right?
Yes.
And so I'd be like, I know you're not good. He's like,
Mhm.
I'm good. I know you're not good.
Mhm.
I'm
Used to
good,
get on
right?
my
And so
nerves.
and then he'd be like, Ronnie Winston. And I'm like, oh, okay then. You need that space. I'm gonna go over here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Call the
Yeah.
government. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, okay, let me change that approach.
Yeah.
But that is the thing as you learn your partner, and like you all said, that space, I and like you said, sort of that you used to feel like space meant we're growing apart,
Yes.
or space meant you're not receptive to me,
Yeah.
but that's not what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Definitely grew in that area.
Let me pivot to the next question.
Okay.
Um, what do you wish people understood about the mental health experiences of Black trans men?
Mm.
Oh my gosh, that's so deep. Hmm.
Oh, man. Um,
Okay, I'm always talking first, right?
Go ahead,
Mm,
ladies first.
Well, I'm just gonna say, just as a wife, as a partner, that and we use that term toxic masculinity, right?
Yeah.
mhm,
And so we use it in a way to almost just beat people up, right? Um, because in some ways that is almost the easy go-to, right? So when you think about, you have a young man who is going through this transition, and what examples has he seen in his life?
Mhm.
What are the most easily recognizable ones, right? And so that frequently comes out, not because that is who they are at their core.
mm,
And so again, responding to things, I don't have to match that aggression with aggression.
mm,
I'm not saying that there's that certain things we know are not acceptable,
Yeah.
but I don't have to come at you the same way you're coming at me, because I also need to recognize that there are some things that are being learned along the way, relearned along the way.
mm.
And so to say that I love you means that I also understand that you're not going to jump out after the first shot. You're not just going to jump out the box and be like, well, now I've gotten what I want, so everything is gravy,
Yeah.
you know, like,
Yeah.
no, that's not what happens, because, so I have to be, as a partner, cognizant of that.
Good job, babe. Thank you.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Love that.
So my thing, I think the most important thing is that people do not realize the space in which we have to navigate, right?
Mhm.
Absolutely.
So um, you know, to 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 be in this country as a black man already,
Mhm.
Mhm.
right? That already come with its own set of bullshit, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And so
You have a potty mouth. Okay, go ahead.
the pastor be tripping. Anyway,
Talk your truth.
right? So for me, right? So for me, when it comes to mental health as a black trans man who is not cis assumed, which means I
Mhm.
do not you when you see me, you don't necessarily assume that I am who
Mm,
I am, right?
Mhm.
And so it becomes this thing, right? Which is always a beat down. All like I tell people all the time, like if you had to mentally prepare to be um hated by people who look like you, who people who don't look like you, to be in constant survival mode because you're not necessarily necessarily safe in any space outside of your own space, right?
Mhm.
And couple that with the responsibility of being a husband, a father, a provider into today as a black person, right?
Mhm.
And then you tell me if you wouldn't want to break every day, right?
Yeah.
And so I want people to understand that it is a multitude of things that as a black trans man, you got a double dose of everything,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? You know, on top of navigating the community in which you already belong.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely.
that, and so I just be like, yo, y'all need to give a nigga some grace.
Yeah. For real.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
like it's insane. It's crazy to me that 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 we prescribe to so many stereotypes, like she was saying, toxic masculinity, and so because you didn't necessarily, you going on what you saw or what you perceive that you
Mhm.
know you should be, and then like my god, my chest got tight.
It's all right. It's all right.
You know what I'm saying? Like and that's why I did, like, this past month, May was mental health awareness month.
Mhm.
So I did a whole campaign every day about,
Yes, you did.
Yes, you
you know
did.
what I mean? Because it's important. When I grew up, they said, therapy was not where it was at. We
Mm.
Yeah.
we don't talk to those people. And
Mhm.
so I grew up feeling that way.
Yeah.
And like, and being in community, right, is I'd be like, well, shit, I can't talk to these people neither.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and so yeah, that's what I would want people to think about when we think about um mental health for black trans men, black trans people, period. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
And can we just add the additional layer, right? Like I remember when I was growing up, that my mom would tell me, you always got to do better, be better, because why? Because you black, you're a woman, you live in the South, all
Yeah.
these kind of things. So now you're talking about, especially, like Winston said, for our trans siblings, right? But then on top of that, just the regular mental health stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just, if your parents were trash or raggedy when you were growing up,
Yeah.
your siblings out here trifling, and you done been through an abusive relationship. So you're talking about all of the things that the average person may just be dealing with, and then those
Absolutely.
added layers. So yeah, it's just some grace. Again, certain behaviors are not acceptable. I don't care, full stop.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But when it
I mean, you
comes,
can't be out here smacking your partner
no,
around.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, unless it's
We
in
got
a funny,
there.
no,
Okay.
we're not getting there.
Yeah.
if
Okay.
it's in,
If it's in a fun way,
if it's in
then,
the fun way, that's different.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we
All
had that.
right.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know.
Matter of fact, you probably should be doing more of that than you can
Okay.
doing that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mhm.
See, come on with that. That irritates me.
No, it don't. You love it.
But let me add it to you, honey.
Okay.
One of the things that I realized, I didn't realize it until we went to preservation, and you pulled your card off the wall. But I'm so glad that it pulled to you. Do you remember your quote again?
Let him be tender.
Yes, right. And that's my point. I think often enough times when we associate black trans men to manhood, there is no room to be soft. And I love when you are in your soft man era.
Mm.
Yes, that's a thing for our relationship because
Yeah.
I realize that if it's good enough for me and in ways that it has healed me, it should be able to be just as good for you. And so in moments, I love flowers, but I also love giving my partner flowers just the same way. They be blue, so I don't stray too. I try and jazz it up to his liking, but there is just needs to be more room where men can find different parts of themselves that
Yeah.
doesn't take away their ability to still be a man.
Yes.
You know what I
Right.
mean? And I just want you to be soft in every way imaginable because it's better for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
thank you for allowing me to be in my soft man era,
Yeah.
right? Like I would just say, for instance, today, a safety mechanism is, oh, I gotta have my packer on. I have to, do it, and I don't have it on,
Yeah.
and it doesn't make me any less of a man,
Yeah.
you know. And so what I've learned is I gotta stop giving a fuck.
Yeah.
I gotta stop giving a fuck about what people are gonna say, what they're gonna do, and how they're gonna do it, because whether I'm a man, whether I'm trans, whether
Mhm.
I'm soft, like somebody gonna have something negative to say about
Something.
me anyway,
It's
right?
always
So
something.
yeah, it's always something, right? So I just learned to um voice when I'm not okay,
Yeah.
and be around the people who actually care about me and love me, and
Absolutely.
is going to and not judge me for all those things.
Yeah.
And they may not look like the people who I grew up with, right? It may not look like um people who I want to be in my corner, but I have to choose my own tribe, and I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh my gosh.
Ah!
That got me a little bit right there.
She got a little tender right there.
Yeah.
She got a little-
So we want to leave a couple of our listeners with examples of what support looks like and some examples of what sabotage may look like. So one of the examples that we have is examples of support would look like listening without immediately trying to fix the problem. That
Hmm.
was something that I personally could do. Yeah. Okay. Um, respecting names, pronouns, identity, consistently, not picking and choosing when you decide you want to use somebody, whether it is I want to attack you because you didn't give me what I wanted, right?
Yeah.
You don't do that lame stuff.
Yeah, that
Mhm,
checking
yeah,
in regularly, and not just during the crisis
uh-huh.
is important.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then some examples of sabotage would be telling them just to be strong. That's the common one, right? You'll be all right.
Mhm. You ain't the only one
Pray
going through
about it,
that. Yeah,
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 that one. It works. But that better not be your automatic response for every situation when somebody's in dire need.
yes.
Um, making their struggles about your discomfort.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the
Mhm.
last one is comparing their journey to someone else's.
Mhm.
Yeah.
that. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, babe.
Like
Of
that too.
course.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's so true.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Now, y'all have a lot of amazing things going on. And one of the things that I love and admire about y'all is y'all writing. So, could you tell the listeners a little bit about y'all writing things so they can support them?
Oh.
Yo, if they are not already subscribed to Blackout Magazine,
Come
I need
What
on.
are you doing?
yo, it's where the queer culture lives, black and brown. You feel
Mhm.
me? Y'all gonna be knowing where we're going, who we talking to, you know what I'm saying, and what we
Mhm.
doing, like period, point blank. But that's my elevator pitch all the
Yes.
time, every time.
Yes.
Um, but we write a column together. It's called Love Lives in Us.
Mhm.
Yes.
And we are working on our rebranding because we're working on trying to be the Mouthies when we grow up. But
Oh, we
I love
love that.
that. Okay.
I seen everything I was
Let me
saying.
tell you
Hey,
something.
it's soulmates.
Okay,
It's
you right.
connected.
I'm telling you. Listen.
But yeah, so really and truly, Love Lives in Us originally came out of because we were doing some couples coaching and
Yeah.
we were trying to host some seminars. We are hoping to get back into that.
I'm not hoping to get back
But
into that.
You miss it. You miss it. You miss it. But so we write a column. So we sort of, start out with some background information, then my perspective and his perspective. And then we leave you with some words to live by.
Drop some gems on you.
I love it. Drop the drop.
So we are monthly contributors. Our longstanding column, Love Lives in Us. And then I also write a faith-based column called Whosoever, because we also work in outreach ministry and stand firm on whosoever believes. And so, for those who have experienced faith organizations that have turned their back on them and shunned them and that sort of thing, we make space for everyone. And so I write that. And as a matter of fact, I've just sort of transitioned how I'm writing, because I've sort of been writing, sort of third person more so. And so I've started to make it a little more personal. That's something that's really important to me.
With the more personal.
Telling my story. And then he just closed out. Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't get to say.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
you just gonna tell him
okay, I'm sorry. It's your story to tell.
Okay. I was joking, but for real, like because in the past I was so very nonverbal. Like for real, we go to the place, I don't say nothing. She tell everything for everybody.
Right.
Okay. So I used to write Old Man's Corner, which was my perspective of transitioning late in life, and so I felt like I was moving on to something else, which is Who You With, Winston.
Okay. Who You With?
So that would be my column of interviews and stuff I do outside of book therapy. Is the other column that I write. It's a book review of Black and brown queer authors as well as Black authors, but definitely Black and brown and queer.
Yes.
And that's and then I'm always, you'll catch me at an event somewhere with a mic in my hand.
Okay.
I'll be all over the place.
Yes.
All the
So
time.
you're not nonverbal. Look. You got a mic in your hand, you doing it.
Yeah.
But can I just say that's something that brought him out, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
It started with the writing. He was writing so much and people were giving feedback and interested, and he's interviewed New York Times bestselling authors. Yes. So, and so it was sort of like, okay. And it started happening pretty quick. So it was like, you better find your voice, boo, because it's happening fast. And so really he took that and then applied it. And so it has really become, it's been an amazing journey to watch. I mean, he walks into a room now, and I understand now because he might speak to him.
Yeah.
I might speak to him. I might say, I'm gonna tell you something. If I say I like you, you should count yourself blessed, because I don't like
yeah.
like
over here, look.
for real.
Yeah.
Like for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that.
Somebody is sitting at the house right now going, is
Yeah.
I might be, because it's
You
funny,
know?
right? Because me and Raquel, we went to Monica.
Talk
Rock
about it.
together.
Mm-hmm. We
You know what I'm
did.
saying?
And they
we
just
sat next to each
graduated.
other at the thing.
Yeah. And all the while, you know how things just align the way that
Mhm.
they need to. All the while, like, who knew fast forward sometime we would be here, right?
Right.
And so it's just the ways in which, like, for me, I recognize that not all community is for me, but they taught me so many valuable lessons. And what has not destroyed me has definitely grew me in a way to be a force to be reckoned with. And I walked away from learning that everything was an open door for something greater.
Yeah.
You know?
Amen.
Amen. I'm so glad that I got to meet you and experience you. And he was dealing with my cut up, because you know how I be in my own little world. Babe.
Yeah.
So I'm in the back of the room twirling and walking and getting my content in. And he just so chill and mellow. And I was like, I feel bad that I'm probably making this person like, what is he doing? Like, I'm not okay, you know.
You on my way.
Yeah, like, take that somewhere else. But
No, he is married to that same personality, honey. I'll bust
see,
out in
look,
a song, a dance. Yeah.
see,
Absolutely.
so he already was prepared. Good.
There you go.
I was. I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah. But all in all, I am in all of y'all. I love, and I want to thank y'all from the bottom of my heart for always
Oh
supporting.
my gosh. That is
Yes,
so
us.
unreal.
Yes, it makes us feel good for what we do to be seen
Absolutely.
in the ways that we are. Y'all are consistently like chef kiss.
Mhm.
Yes,
Aw,
yes,
so sweet. Thank you.
absolutely. Let the people know where they can keep up with y'all and find y'all.
Hey, right. Before that though,
Okay, go ahead.
I know that both of y'all are involved in Greek life, correct? Am I right, wrong?
Well,
Well, I
yes,
am.
he is.
Oh, okay.
I pray for the people.
Okay. Yeah.
People, she prayed for the
So I noticed that y'all was doing a first of all, shout out your organization and tell us a little bit more about what y'all do. And I know y'all was talking about the what was it y'all had going on? The
We just did the Lambda New feeds.
there you go. Yeah, talk about it.
Yes.
They do that like monthly in South Carolina. We get together, we get food, and then they set up tables outside by the library, and just anyone who needs something to eat can just come through.
Amen.
Yeah, we do. So the Lambda New Dynasty
Hey. Okay.
is made up of. Wait, I gotta count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 organizations. So
Okay.
Lambda Alpha Kappa Nu Sorority Incorporated was first. That is a sorority for all women. Then I founded and created Lambda Zeta Phi Nu Fraternity
Hey,
Incorporated.
shout out founder. Okay.
Before my transition. It is an organization for masculine centered lesbians or non-binary people.
Okay.
Then Lambda Gamma Omega Nu Fraternity Incorporated, which I co-founded with my brother Pharaoh,
Okay.
is a organization for trans men. And then Lambda Beta Delta Nu Fraternity Incorporated is a fraternity for all men.
Okay.
And so that encompasses the Lambda New Dynasty. I have been doing this for over 13 years.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, so we do a lot of stuff like Zeta Phi has seek and serve. We seek to serve the community in any way possible, whenever we can, however we can.
Mhm.
Gamma Omega, we are heavy about supporting trans men, especially trans men of color, in any way that we can. So we do support groups, whether they be virtual or in person. Last 2 years ago, I did Smoke and Chat, where I got a grant that year. So anytime we got together, we pay for food, cigars. We watch a game at a local cigar lounge and just vibe out and talk and be of support. Do binders,
I love that.
STPs. We have the
Adopt a trans child.
adopt a trans child every year. Every year we adopt a trans child for Christmas and for the school year. Any parent of a trans child can get in touch with us, and you let us know what they need, down to any clothing they need to feel comfortable in who they are, school supplies, whatever is necessary. We got you.
I love that.
Love it.
And then we have the clothing closet. Need some gender affirming items. We got you. And
Okay.
then the No Band Will Prosper. Any band book, whether it be physical or ebook, holla at me. I will get it to you.
Love that.
Absolutely love that. Yeah, I'm actually a proud member of Iota Theta Upsilon Fraternity Incorporated.
Whoop, whoop.
All right.
Yeah, and so I would love to collaborate, and get out there. We're fairly new. We've been established since 2023. But yeah, we're moving and grooving in Greekdom, and yeah, I love what you're doing, and would love to collaborate and get some things popping on our end as well. So yes, I love that, and thank you for sharing. For sure.
All right.
I see y'all out there. I see y'all out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. All right. So let the people know how they can find you if you want to be found. Okay.
Oh, well, it might be hard to find me.
I'm saying, stay a mystery.
Listen.
Uh, you can find me on Facebook. I'm just Ronnie Winston. I'm pretty boring. Oh wait, no,
No,
I'm
you
No,
not.
you're
No,
not.
you're not.
Don't say that.
She be playing games with the
Playing
people
it down.
I'm the missus on
on
Instagram.
Instagram. Ronnie
Miss,
Winston
okay.
on Facebook.
I
Okay.
think
And
I'm
she
the
the
miss
Mrs. 704 on TikTok.
TikTok.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but I'm a little bit slow to the social media thing. But if you want to see me every day, if you go on to the Out of the Box Ministries Myrtle Beach page every morning, I
hate
do
them
like
dogs.
I'm so sorry, our dogs are barking.
No, you so
That's all right.
fine.
They trying to be on the
You know,
podcast.
you at our
Okay,
real
they,
house.
they got something to say.
But I do like a 3 to 5 minute just morning mercy.
Morning
Pop
mercy.
in, encourage you as you go
Love
on.
that.
So you'd see me there more often than anywhere else. But
Okay.
Blackout Magazine, blackout.com.
And the magazine comes out today.
Yes.
Today is
Woo! All right. And they can find you everywhere.
They
So
can
go
find-
ahead.
Facebook, I'm EL Winston. I'm also book therapy with EL Winston. On Instagram and TikTok, I am book therapy with EL Winston. So you can find me in those places.
All right,
Yes. Thank y'all
yeah.
so much for
Yes,
being
thank you.
on. This was such an enlightening conversation.
Definitely was.
Yes, baby. Loving a black man, and specifically loving a black trans man. I think it is time for women to put down the swords we've been fighting for so long. And I want to open up my arms, right? Like I want to call you in. I want to love on you with these bosoms.
Yes.
Okay,
that I
yeah.
love so much.
But it is time for us to work together and love together and repair together. But your struggle is my struggle, and my struggle is your struggle,
Mm,
and we're gonna overcome every struggle together.
yes.
Okay.
Amen.
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 Yeah.
Get you one. Yeah.
Limited edition.
Joanne.
But this is the
This is
Mouthy
your girl.
podcast,
Where life gets loud
and healing gets real,
and we talk our talk.
so you can walk your walk.
Stay mouthy.